Hello, BookTube friends and book lovers everywhere, especially those who love children's novels written for children. I've got a whole pile of them right here, and the reason why is because we're heading right into middle grade March. And I want to congratulate and thank Krista, Katie, and Amanda for hosting this. I think it's a 10-year anniversary, maybe 10 years, not sure. But if you watch Krista's video, she does mention that in her video. It's been around a while. She's been working on this for a long time. She's dedicated to children's literature, and so am I. So this event is natural for me. I haven't always participated. However, this year I plan to. And the reason I'm dedicated to children's literature is because back when I was homeschooling my two youngest children, I did read to them a lot of novels, mainly children's novels from the Newbery list. And at that time I made like a pledge or a goal to read all the books on that list, the Newbery Medal winners and the honor books. And I never was able to read all those books, but I have read a lot of them. And in recent years, I haven't been quite as enthusiastic because I have not liked some of the subject matter that I read in some of the newer books. There's still some great books on the list, so I'm continuing to study and read them. I will never be the kind of person who only reads children's literature for BookTube, and that's because I have other interests. I do read history, for adults, and I'm into my survival literature and things like that. But children's literature is something I've really been into in my life. In fact, I have a blog called Literature for Kids. It doesn't have very many articles on it, considering the fact that it's been around so long. And one of my goals for this middle grade March is to add an article to that site every day. It will either be an article about writing children's literature, or perhaps an article about specific books, little book reviews, and it could also be articles about authors. I'm willing to diversify there. I'm willing to diversify. So whatever comes to mind, as long as I'm posting something every day. And I thought I'm also going to start posting some of the stories and poems that I wrote on that site. They were posted there a long time ago, but they're not posted there now. So I want to revitalize some of those pages and bring them forward again. And it just seems sad to have written so much children's literature and then not to have it posted anywhere. So that is one of my goals. Now, middle grade March has some requirements to go with it. I have a little note. I have notes. So, middle grade March, there are some prompts. First of all, there's 2 group reads. One of them is The Secret Garden. I have already read The Secret Garden twice, and I don't have a desire to read it a third time, so I will probably not participate in that part of the event. There's another group read called Moongarden, a book I haven't read. And since I'm doing the Read What You Own challenge, I can't go out and buy it. But I accepted all audiobooks, so if I can get an audiobook of Moongarden, I will participate in that. You see, audiobooks are not included in my Read What You Own attempt at getting some of those books read. So I have 5 books here that I have picked out of my library and hope to get read during the month of March. The first prompt, I'm not sure if I have the prompts in the right order, but the first prompt on my list is to read a series book. I do not like series. In fact, I have written actually a series of 4 novels, and I just don't like series. I don't. So I don't have any on hand except for one special series that I happen to have a boxed set of, and it is the Little House books. So recently, I mean, these are rereads for me, but the last couple of years I did read a couple of the books. I read first and second in the series, and so this is the third in the series. It's Little House on the Prairie, and that is the series book that I have chosen because I have a limited supply over here. And the next prompt is to read a book that involves travel, and so I have chosen to read The Remarkable Journey of Coyote Sunrise. This is a book I've had for a couple of years sitting out in a box in my cargo trailer, and now that I live in a house, I've brought it inside. I'm so excited to have it in the house with me, and I will finally get around to reading it hopefully this coming month. Now, if I get all these books read, it'll be a miracle, really, to be honest, because I am not a fast reader, but I will make an attempt and see how many I can get through. So the next prompt is to read a book written in the 1900s. So that wasn't that long ago, and I have two in mind that I would like to read. The first one is a local book. It is called Bellboy, A Mule Train Journey. So I have read most of this before, or part of it before. I know I have read some of it before. I don't think I got through the whole thing, and I would like to, so the Mule Train Journey is on my mind, and this particular book tells about events that take place in the local area where I live. There used to be, people living out here in the hills. The only way to get things was through mule trains, and that was a very common part of our area's life back around 100 years ago. There is still a mule train, however, that goes through the Marble Mountains. There are still people packing in the mountains here. So it's an exciting book. A little boy gets hired on by a mule train, events, experiences. And the next book that I have written in the 1900s is one that I bought because I wanted to have a children's novel that is about the state of Delaware, or takes place in that state. And this is the only one I could find. It's called Water Rat. I've had this for a couple of years and never got around to reading it yet, and I'm hoping to do that this coming month. So there was another prompt about having a book with flowers on the cover, and I did not even own a children's book with flowers on the cover. As far as I know, I could not find one that I had not read already. I have a lot that I have already read, and I didn't want to do any more rereads. So I thought the group read, Moongarden, has flowers on the cover. So that is the book that I'm going to be reading for that prompt. And then the last book was for a prompt to read a book by an author with 3 names. His name is Christian McKay Heidicker, and the book is called Scary Stories for Young Foxes. I've been trying to read this one since 2020, right after my house burned. I remember trying to read this one during October and never managed to ever get through it. So hopefully this coming month I'll give it another try. So that's it. I guess that's the whole story. I haven't got anything else to tell you about except that I'm looking forward to middle grade Mark, and thank you very much to Krista, Amanda, and Katie for hosting the event.